Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I thought I'd weigh in today on the impending release of the UCS Death Star. There's been a lot of reviews on it, a lot of mixed feedback. Let's be fair to say it's had a bit of a slating. It's real head scratcher, and it's hard to give an honest review because I don't have the set. But from what I've seen, I just thought I'd weigh in as someone who just does a regular everyday job. Got two kids, live in a normal sized house. I don't have any disposable income I can chuck at this sort of thing. So when a big set like this comes along, it's a real, do I need it sort of incident. And I'm really sort of fighting with myself over whether it's something required. I've got a few sets. I'm lucky enough to have a few of the Star Wars sets myself. The big UCS ones, hard. We don't have the sort of income to just chuck at these things all the time, but I've luckily managed to get the Falcon and the AT-AT and a couple of the not small, but the smaller UCS sets like the X-Wing, TIE Interceptor, etc. The ones that are sort of sub £500, $500 sort of price lines. And with regards to the Falcon and the AT-AT, it's been one of those things where you kind of have to wait for them to go on a sale. Falcon was easier, that's still for sale now, and you can still get it for a lot cheaper than when it originally came out, or on the LEGO website if you look in the right places. A lot of the time, your local toy stores, where local to where I am, we've got a Smith's that does it. AT-AT more difficult. I managed to snab one last year from the Lego sale, the May the 4th sale they did, which was brilliant. Got that for about £500 instead of the £750 usually is, and before it retired. So really lucky, really lucky on that. So with the Death Star, big conundrum. Now I love the idea of having a great big UCS set, especially one that's £900, $1,000, for example, depending on where you are in the world. It's a big set. Let's not beat around the bush. It's massive. I've seen the pictures. I've seen loads of reviews. It's got loads of minifigures in it. Yes, the printing on the minifigures isn't great. It could be better. If you're spending $1,000, £900 on a big set like this, you expect the best minifigures. You expect a brilliant lineup, maybe a couple of extra exclusive ones. Galen Erso being in there is brilliant. Obviously, that's awesome. He's probably my favourite minifigure of the bunch, other than, of course, the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. Spoiler alert. But yeah, fantastic looking minifigures. Other than that, I suppose it's just the dual printing. It could have had better printed legs. Some of the figures you can find better ones in smaller sets. But having said that, still an impressive amount of them in there. And for a big set like this, it's what you'd want. Maybe a few more, but it's what you'd want. So let's get a bit more comfortable. What do we do about this? I physically can't afford £900 just off the cuff. It's too much. And yes, there are people out there with bigger incomes, and they might be completionists that need to have the set. And I suppose it is one of those things where it's just a case of how much do you want it. Personally, for me, I'd really like it, but to find that sort of money is just crazy, absolutely crazy. So let's move this a little bit there. Absolutely crazy. So the only thing I can think of doing is waiting for it to go on sale, quite simply. That's the only thing to potentially do, which is going to mean it's affordable in any way. But even so, is that going to go down to £500-600? Are we going to find that nobody really buys it? Are we going to find that it's on a offer on somewhere like Amazon or a Lego May the 4th sale next year? Or are we going to just bypass this set completely? Now, for me, I've been thinking about this a lot, and the thing that really it comes down to for myself is, do I want this more than other things that are out there? And again, I can't just throw money at sets. It's really rare I get a big one. I usually get the smaller ones if I can, because I don't have much space. In another video, I'll show you the little Star Wars room I've got that I've managed to create from a Lego for those ones. But in terms of space, money, time, it's just hard to justify it at the moment. Having said that, it is a good set. I think it's had a lot of flack. It's obviously got all the diorama bits in there. It's great in some ways. It's probably good to store if you've got a shelf space that's wide enough, because it doesn't come out very far. From what I've seen, it's obviously quite a flat kind of disc shape. And obviously the piece count's fantastic. Stickers, I'm not sure about how many stickers there are in it. I do think we could have had more printed pieces personally, and I've seen a lot of reviews really slating them for that, and I kind of agree, to be honest. I do think the designers have had a lot of flack on this, and I think they had to kind of go down one route or the other. We've obviously already had the spherical version of it a few times. One most recently been kind of redesigned with a few different figures in it. It's the most recent iteration of it, really. And then obviously the Death Star 2 that came out long before that, which I think was a great design. It looks really good, but obviously quite dated now, I think personally. And I think this new one looks really polished. It looks finished. It looks really nice. But it just has that bit missing. I mean, I agree with some of the reviews I've read where it would have been nice if you could have maybe had the spherical front, open it up and have all the dioramas in, or even just a spherical back so you can choose which way round you display it. And I do agree with those reports. I do think there's a lot of people out there giving it loads and loads of hate. I don't think it deserves all that. I mean, yes, it's not great. It's not what we wanted in a $1,000, £900 Lego set, but it is still a good set. And for what you're getting compared to other sets, it's probably worth the price point in its own way. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one. The other thing that's really I'm struggling with personally is these rumours for next year. Now, the rumours are, of course, that we're going to potentially get a UCS Super Star Destroyer. And personally, that's my favourite ship of the whole franchise, bar the Slave one, or Boba Fett starship. So I've already got the UCS Slave one. That's the first one I got in my collection, so fantastic. And in terms of Super Star Destroyer, it was never in a million years chance I could get the original one, because I sort of came to the party a bit late when it came to the bigger sets of Star Wars Lego. I did manage to get this one, which I think is actually fantastic. It's a great set. Detail on it, brilliant for the size. Perfect for the price range. And it just filled that little itch I had that I really wanted a Super Star Destroyer. It's just, I just think it's brilliant. It fits on my shelf well. I got the Falcon and the Tantive 4 to go with it. Fantastic. But of course, now there's a rumour there's a new UCS one of these coming out. I'm curious. And if I'm honest, I was really tempted to see if I could do something to raise the funds for the Death Star. But now I know one of those might be coming out. I want to hold fire, personally. Because if that comes out, I'm going to gun for that instead of the Death Star. That's a no-brainer. I love the Super Star Destroyers. If they can do anything like what they did before, then I imagine it'll be amazing. And they're only going to make it more detailed. My only concern is they're going to have a very high price point. Again, you know, we've just hit $1,000, £900 price mark on the latest one they brought out. What's this one going to cost? You know, when we're getting sets like the Falcon, the AT-AT that are $750 upon release, that's a lot of money. And yeah, there's loads of pieces in it. And yes, I did manage to get those two eventually when they're on sale. What's this going to cost? You know, when the original one came out, I think it was $400, something like that. But obviously that was years and years ago. Now we're just going to hit a big price point. I reckon they're going to come out around £700-800. I think. That's my guess. It'd be great if it was lower. It'd be really great if they could make it more accessible to more people. I know it's Ultimate Collectors. It's supposed to be a, you know, finite thing. It's supposed to be a real, like, yes, I've got this collector's set. You know, it's real exclusive. But it'd be great if more people could afford those exclusive sets, because personally, they're the pride of my collection. And I can't afford all the ones. I've had to give the Sail Barge a miss, for example, the Razor Crest. That set looks incredible, but I haven't managed to get that. Instead, I've got the smaller Razor Crest version, which I still think is a really good set. And for the price, brilliant. It'd be great if they could do a UCS Ghost. But again, the set they did a year or so ago when Ahsoka came out was fantastic as well. I've managed to get that one. Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, let us know what you guys think. From a down-to-earth perspective, obviously, I can't afford it on day one. No way. And even if I was desperate to get it on day one, I don't think the gift for purchase is really something that's going to swing me. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I'm not 100% convinced I'd be able to get it at all, but that'd be amazing if one day it came on sale. I think if it went down for to £600-700, it might be potentially, you know, worth a punt if you've got the income and you're worth it. There's obviously going to be completionists who want to get it on day one. I just think, and you know, going back to the designers again, I think they've done a great job with what they had available to them. I think they've had a lot of flack. I don't think they've done anything wrong necessarily. I just think they've been given a strict budget. They've been said, right, put resources here or here. They've not been able to do both. It would have been great if they could. I think Lego Group have been a bit stingy in that respect. But I think from listening to designers, they are proud of what they've accomplished, what they're allowed to do. And I feel like kudos to them. You know, they've done really well with what they could. And little things like the shuttle, I think that's great. The trash compactor, really cool. I've got the diorama set of it, and it just looks like a slightly smaller version of that, but I love the little creature coming up from, you know, that's slightly different and a bit new, which is great. So it gives you something new to look forward to. Other than that, that's all I've got to say really. But let us know, guys, what you think. Are you going to get it set? It's only a week or so before it goes out now when I'm recording this. And I am one of the Lego insiders, so I'll probably get all the offers thrown at me like, buy it day one, buy it day one. Obviously I can't do that, but I'd love to if I had the money and I was like, yeah, it's fine, £1,000, never mind, I've got loads of that. But I can't. And aside from the fact that I've got 2 children to look after, a mortgage to pay, work every day, it's it's just not feasible. And it would be great to have it, but it's going to have to go down a lot, or you know, we might find ourselves in a situation where not many people want to buy it, in which case it might be on, you know, in stores at a cheaper price. You know, Smith's, our local toy store where I am, they tend to do some good prices on UCS sets. I actually got the Chewbacca one from there. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I actually genuinely like it. It is fiddly and it does look a little bit scary if you look in his eyes too long. It's like boring into your soul, but I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know it's been a bit of a long video, but I just wanted to weigh in with my opinion on it. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah, and I do think, yeah, let's give the designers the credit they deserve for it, but equally Lego Group could have given them more to play with. I think they've just restricted them too much, and yes, it's too expensive. It's great to have a set that's come up above this price point, but it's also like, wow, I can't afford that. And if you are going to afford that, you want it to be absolutely something you could never live without, really, let's be honest, and it isn't that. So yeah, let's see, and hopefully next year we get the Super Star Destroyer, because I'm looking forward to that. If that rumor is true, we will see what that is, and then I will then panic about whether I can afford that. Anyway, thanks very much. Stay nice to each other, enjoy the video, like, subscribe, and keep bricking it. I'll see you next time. Cheers.